talk about some coaching things right now. So there are 4 jobs open right now in college football, right? In power college football, I should say. The 4 jobs open are North Carolina, West Virginia, Purdue, and UCF. And so I'm wondering what you all think the best job is. To me, it's between 2 jobs. I think we all know Purdue is at number 4. To me, the 2 best jobs out there are, I would put West Virginia at number 3. Carolina and UCF are the 2 best jobs out there. What order you would put them in is up to you. And so what I would say about North Carolina is this. I mentioned this earlier in the week. North Carolina as a job is incredibly interesting because it is a basketball school, number 1, but it's in the ACC and they've got the Jordan logo, the Jordan branding, and they've got a lot of money. And so it takes the right kind of coach to draw out the investment, I think there. And so they are in a, I think from a prestige standpoint, the ACC is perceived as a better conference than the Big 12. I don't think it's necessarily true, but Carolina's got a longer history in power conference football than UCF does. And so I think that is helpful. I think the branding is a better brand than UCF is. But where UCF makes an argument is that the investment in football is going to be at UCF no matter what. Now, I know their alumni base is huge, but it's young, so they don't have a lot of money yet, but they're going to end up having more money as time goes along. That's what you need. Obviously, they jump to the Big 12. They're in the state of Florida. We've seen the caliber of athlete they can get on offense. Also, the transfer portal, you've got the ability to get Florida players who went elsewhere and want to come back home. And so I think all of those things contribute to UCF being a job that's still on the up. And I think they want to maybe find a coach who matches that. I don't think West Virginia is a bad job, but the issue I have with West Virginia's job is the last coach to really succeed at WVU was a coach who brought he revolutionized offense. That spread that Rich Rodriguez ran really brought offense into the 21st century, really brought it into the 21st century. I mean, it was kind of the next iteration after the classic pro style. USC, I think, really was that classic pro style that showed you how great it could be if you had the right personnel. Then you kind of get that 2005 Vince Young spread option, but the next form of it was the spread option that Rich Rodriguez ran at West Virginia. And look, the thing is that I'm usually not a pro reunion guy, but Rich Rod is still one hell of a football coach. And you're seeing that right now with what he's doing at Jacksonville State, right? I know the Michigan tenure did not go well for him, but Jacksonville State right now at 9-4 and then 8-4 back-to-back years for him, man, does he have that thing humming. And look, I know he's in his early 60s, I believe, 61. But he's from West Virginia. He played at West Virginia. He obviously coached at West Virginia, and his offense is still getting the job done. And I think guys want to play for him. I really think guys still do want to play for him. And once again, I don't love reunions. It's not my thing. But this is a reunion to me that would make a lot of sense. And so I think that, could they do better than Rich Rod? Sure. It depends on what you mean is better. If John Summerall is better, but I mean, Neil Brown was John Summerall before John Summerall, right? So that makes an interesting question of which way should they go? And so, I think that they're the third job, but it's not a bad job, but it's a job that it really takes the right kind of person to win there because you need to have personnel. They had personnel this year that could do something different, but Neil Brown just didn't push the buttons the right way that he did in the past. I appreciate them making a move too, because that was the right thing to do. I once again always reference Arkansas because that's where I'm at and it's where I live now. It's where I cover. But Arkansas did not do that. They could have said, Sam Pittman's got us languishing right now. We're not good enough often enough. And I like the fact that, a school like West Virginia said, we're too average. We've got all these schools rising and falling, think about the Big 12 as a conference. Think about how the Big 12, how many teams have gone up and down. Sonny Dykes' first year national championship. In the last 5 seasons since 2020, they've had, I think, 8 different teams out of the 10. They have had 8 different teams in the Big 12 championship game. They had, this is back when they had 12, but they had Oklahoma, Iowa State, Baylor, Oklahoma State, TCU, Kansas State. Let's see, you had Texas get in there. You had Oklahoma State again as the repeat. And now you've got Iowa State back again. And then you've got Arizona State. So I think it's 9 maybe in the last 10 years. I mean, that's really impressive. And, I think it shows like you got a chance to do something in that league. And so I think that's where that job and the UCF job are a bit more enticing. Yes, the ACC's up and down, but, Carolina's still Carolina. I think they've got a chance to be like, they're already kind of entrenched at the top, towards the top of that league. But UCF and West Virginia in the league, it's really up and down. And so there's opportunity there to go there and make something. I think it's a really interesting question about which job is better between UCF and North Carolina. I think that Carolina's in a pretty good spot to access talent, not quite the talent that UCF's accesses to, but they've got more history, I would say. But the upside in a place like Florida, where football is everything at UCF, is a bit different. So I think those jobs are 1 and 2. Kind of depends on who the candidates are, right? Big question to me, though. We've got enough jobs open at this point. John Summerall doesn't get one of these jobs. What the hell are we doing? And here's the thing. Might not work out, but the guy is winning everywhere he's going right now. And I think that's enough to say, hey, give him the job. I saw the Scott Frost stuff for UCF. Purdue, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I've got no idea what Purdue's going to do. So that becomes very, very interesting. But let me know what you all think. How would you all rank these jobs? I've got it Carolina, UCF, West Virginia, and Purdue. Not much separation between Carolina and UCF. And then, not a ton of separation between West Virginia and UCF. But there is some, in my opinion. And then also, I really do think that Purdue, way behind. They can get good coaches, but it's going to be hard. All right, that will do it for today's show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I'm at @JoshNeighbors_. It's at CC Podcast JN as well. We'll be back with a weekend preview whenever you catch us. All right, folks. Talk at you all mañana.
We are Rogue Media Sports.